This is the courthouse where in Hamilton you go when a barbaric animal murders your loved ones. In our case, it was my son Dustin. You think when you go to court, you'll be treated with respect and dignity and you will hear the truth and nothing but the truth. Well, this is not what happens. The barbaric animal is treated like a civilized person, and this is not justice. When you cross the line and you rape a little girl, then you beat her to death with a ball-peen hammer, you are not a civilized person. Or you kill a young man and you burn his body, you are not a civilized person. Or you kidnap a family man who only wants to sell his truck, burn his body, you are not a civilized person. Or as in our case, you stab my son 68 times, you are not a civilized person. You are a barbaric animal and you should be treated as such. I would like to know which judge and lawyers decided that barbaric animals were civilized people. This has to change. When we went to pretrial, we were asked to show respect in the courtroom and to leave if we got upset. But the barbaric animal's lawyer had no respect. He would rock the podium back and forth and would badger the witnesses by saying over and over again, "Do you agree?" And because he was lining his pockets with the taxpayers' money, legal aid, he went over the same material over and over and over again. Then he dragged my son's name through the mud by bringing up hearsay that assholes and bullies said to the detectives. When he said these things, the barbaric animal's mother would snicker and smile like this would get her son off. It did not. It was a complete waste of time and the taxpayers' money. The Crown Attorney did object 3 times, but the judge allowed it because the animal's lawyer said he wanted to join the dogs. The judge allowed us and Dustin to be dragged through hell and back, and this is not right and has to change. If you were there, you would swear Dustin was on trial. There was no respect for Dustin or his family. He did nothing wrong. The judge allowed this. Judges need to put these lawyers in their places. Remember who pays their salaries. That's us, the civilized Canadians. They should be held accountable for what goes on in the courtroom, and if we, the victims, are not happy with the way they conduct themselves and what is said, we should be able to sue them for slander, the judges and the lawyers. This would stop all the pain and suffering for the victims. Our politicians need to look into all the money the courts waste and give that to the victims for their pain and sufferings, not lining scumbag lawyers' pockets. The second thing, victims' families should have a say who is allowed in the courtroom. We had to deal with 15 of the animal's friends and family. They would stare at us like we had done their family wrong. Remember, we are the civilized people and we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, not the other way around. It was so bad the detectives apologized to us for what they had said. The animal's lawyer even brought up something Dustin had done as a minor. How could this be allowed? Who was on trial? When we went to court, I thought I would hear the truth and nothing but the truth, but instead received more pain and suffering. I asked the Crown Attorney if we could have a DNA test done on Dustin and a 3-year-old girl we believe might be Dustin's daughter. She said no. We asked if the court trial could be held in warm weather so my wife's family could camp at our place because they live 2.5 hours away. They said no. I asked if the murderer's family were immigrants. They would not say. I have never seen a justice system that is so unfair to the victims, and this is unacceptable in a civilized society. I believe the punishment should fit the crime. In our case, the animal should be strapped to a chair in a room with me, where I'm given my hunting knife, a propane torch, and a crowbar. And when I'm done, I will take what's left to the bush and feed it to the coyotes. This would give me some closure and save the taxpayers a small fortune. You can give that money to the unemployed and homeless. Why should barbaric animals be treated better than the poor civilized Canadians? It infuriates me that the animal gained 100 pounds while locked up for 1 year, and Canadian children go hungry? I say just hang the animal if I can't have my way. The judge and the animal's lawyer made a mockery and a pretrial. And I dare anybody to listen to the minutes and tell me I'm wrong. And that goes to legal aid, judges, or lawyers, or the civilized Canadian people. As it goes to the police officers who did not do their job to save and serve and protect Dustin, they should be held accountable for their actions, and they should be in jail. We were never told who the police officers were. So to all the civilized Canadians, stand up and call your politicians and make your voices heard, because the next person murdered by a barbaric animal might be one of your loved ones. If you don't, then you will be living our nightmare, and believe me, you don't want that. Doing the right thing is not always nice, but as civilized Canadians, it has to be done. Like in the Second World War, it had to be done. I would also like the judges to look up civilized and barbaric animal in the dictionary and see which describes these violent assholes. This is the front of the courthouse that you'll be going in. And this is the back door of the courthouse. These are the doors that we used when we went in and out because the murderer's family were all out front smoking cigarettes, and we didn't feel like we wanted to wade through all that bunch staring at us. And this is just off King Street.